Hi, my name's Sheila Christensen and I'm author of Quilts with an Angle. Today I'm going to show you how to cut two of the shapes that I use in a lot of the quilts in my book. And we're going to be using some directional fabrics. A lot of people tell me that they're really scared of stripes. There's really no need to be. They're so easy to cut. So what I've done here is I'm going to cut a triangle using this striped fabric. And as you can see, you can actually combine those stripes to make some really, really cool patterns. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a strip. Now I have cut this strip vertically up from the selvage. And 99% of the time, your stripes will be going this way across. So I've taken my 3.5-inch strip and I'm just going to open it out and lay it down on my cutting mat. I have to decide whether I would like to cut my triangle with the dark stripe in the center or with the light stripe in the center. You can do either. So what I'm going to do is I need a triangle ruler, which is a 60-degree triangle ruler. I'm going to place the center of the ruler on the dark stripe. And then I'm going to cut on both sides. So now I have a triangle with the dark stripe in the center, and I can then rotate my my triangle and cut again, centering again. Now you'll notice that when I rotate that triangle ruler, I'm now not set up. I'm left-handed, so normally I like to cut with my left hand. If I rotate that triangle ruler, it's totally wrong for me. So the way I get around that is I turn my fabric over. I can still see my stripe, so I'm going to center my triangle ruler there, cut both sides. Ta-da! So I have now another triangle with my dark strip in the center, and to carry on down the strip, I just keep turning the strip over and keep cutting down the strip. So that's really fun and easy to do. You can use that not just for stripes, but you can take all those cool fabrics with the motifs in them. This is one of my favorite ones, the Raccoon from Tulip Pink's All Stars. And you can cut those with exactly where you want to have the motif in there. So the one thing you do need to do is make sure that your strip is cut. So here's my selvage. I've cut my strip so the raccoon is centered in the strip, and so that I can get my triangle where I want him. So I've found my raccoon. I'm going to center my line on his nose. So you can see that this line's going straight down the center of the raccoon. And again, I'm going to cut both sides. And I have a cool raccoon. Now, with a fabric like this, where it's all in one direction, I can't keep turning my ruler and cutting. So I just move along the strip and cut another raccoon. There you go. So you can easily deal with those directional fabrics. Don't be afraid of them. We're going to now cut some diamonds. And again, directional fabric. You have two ways that you can cut diamonds for these quilts. If you use the 3.5-inch strip, you're going to be cutting on an angle, and your stripes are going to end up on an angle. So if you're going to place your diamond vertically, you will have these stripes going at a great angle, and that can really add a lot of wow to your quilts because it's dynamic and it adds a lot of movement. So I'm starting again with my 3.5-inch strip of fabric. First thing I do is I cut a 60-degree line. It does not matter what line I put my ruler on. So I just cut that 60-degree angle. And after that, I'm going to flip this over so that I can cut with the same hand. And I'm going to put a 3.5-inch line from my ruler on that angle that I cut. This ruler I have here is a 3.5-inch ruler, so I can just go and put the edge of the ruler on here. So then I make my cut and I have my lovely dynamic stripe. But what if you don't want them to go across that way? What if you would like your stripe to be vertical? Well, the thing you need to do then is you start with a 6.5 inch strip instead of the 3.5. So with this strip, as you can see, it is going to end up being the height of my diamond. And you can see these little tips here. These are going to disappear when we sew. Now, to be able to cut these, we're going to need to fold this fabric in half. And I'm going to carefully line my stripe up so that the stripe matches at the top and at the bottom. And my edges are nice and lined up, and I'm going to finger press. Then I'm going to get my triangle ruler again. Now, because I don't have a seam allowance here, I need to change the line that I use on my ruler. It's going to be 1/4 of an inch less than the line I used to cut my triangle. So I'm going to place the triangle ruler right down the center of that dark strip and cut on both sides. So now we have a diamond with the stripe running right down the center, and we can play with shapes like that to create some amazing patterns. So if I put those around in a star, we'll get the stripe coming out from the center. Be really cool. So what about our raccoons? We're going to try some diamonds with him as well. We want to have the raccoon with his tail pointing up and his nose down at the bottom. So I've cut my strip so that I've got him positioned exactly where I'd like him. The selvage is down here and the pattern runs up this way. So now I'm going to take my strip and fold it in half, just like I did for the stripes. Carefully folding it in half and making sure these edges line up. Then I'm going to place my triangle ruler and put that center line straight down the middle of my raccoon. Then all I have to do is cut on both sides. And here's the friend for the other one. They can look so cool and make some amazing patterns. So with this again, just like with the triangles, all you need to do is move along the strip, cut another raccoon. Make sure I'm down the center. Cut on both sides, and here's the third one. So I hope you really enjoy playing with your directional fabrics. Get those fabrics out of your stash and really make the most of them. I'm Sheila Christensen. As I say, the quilts are in my book, Quilts with an Angle. It's available from C&T, your bookstores and your local quilt stores. Thank you for watching.